So anyway, let's talk about the black sun. It's the hidden one, the invisible sun. And it's right up there, spinning above us. And to even grasp the magnitude of this, you have to realize everything you've been led to believe about everything is a lie. You're not going to be able to even fathom most of this. It's going to sound batshit crazy. But I'm going to get this down on tape anyway. I've been researching this for a long time. The first time I heard about it, I thought it was completely crazy. And it took me years to wrap my head around all the different things that needed to be done to start to think, oh my God, this might be real. And now I'm at the point where like, yeah, this is what we're dealing with. When you look at the imagery, it goes back to the beginning of time, from the symbols to the illustrations. And now we have photographs. They don't tell you about it at school, church, or on TV. But they show you in symbolism. They tell you the truth in symbolism. But they don't teach you what symbolism means, do they? So to begin with, you're going to have to throw away everything you believe. Just put it in a bag, lock it up, and when you're done, if you want it, it'll be there, okay? For now, you're going to have to just change everything you believe. We're going to go over a couple of those things that you're going to need to understand for this to make sense. To begin with, what we've been told about Earth has been inverted, okay? We're not accidental ape-like beings riding on a spinning water ball, hurtling aimlessly through spaceland. If you think of those motions, all right, spinning 1,000 miles an hour from west to east, doing 66,600 miles an hour around the sun, while hurtling at Mach 88, aimlessly through spaceland. You don't feel any of it, and you can't measure any of it. There's never been a scientist or an experiment that can prove that Earth was moving, much less at any particular speed. And then when you look into heavens, when you look at the stars, you see those movements are not reflected in that crazy freaking scenario. When you really see how the stars and the planets move, the celestial sphere, it moves like a torus. And I know there's a lot of people that have jumped on the flat earth train. It goes to nowhere. All right, I'm going to tell you, the end of the ride is like hitting the wall when you finally figure out. And this is how you can get there. There's a lot of other ways. But stop messing with the water, okay? You can't tell what Earth is by looking at the water. Look at the stars. And when you see, when you get a 360-degree time lapse of the heavens moving, you see the torus pattern. You see the north and the south poles spinning invertedly like a torus pattern. And what they call the swastika. It's shown in two different directions, all right? That symbolizes north and the south poles that spin on the celestial sphere. What we have is a big ball of stars above us. To wrap your head around this, think of Earth as an egg. all right? In the center you have the yolk. We are on the inside of the shell, and this place is massively larger than we've been led to believe. Gravity is not a thing. It's a farce. What we have is universal compression. The ether is pushing us down. The yolk that you see in that egg, that is the celestial sphere. That's the big ball of stars that spin above us. This works like an optical illusion. Because of how our eyes work and how the optics are, it looks like the stars are enveloping us, going over and around us, all right? But when you finally focus on it, you see wide enough, you can see this big ball of stars moving in the sky. It's freaking massive. Within that, you have the black sun. It's not illuminated, unlike the stars. The stars and planets are not spinning rock balls that are on fire. The sun, not a flaming rock ball. The planets are sonoluminescent energy at their own specific frequencies. Mars, for example, is 144.72 hertz. These have a profound effect on us as they come closer and move further away in their orbits. And as they mix and intermingle with the other planets, those other frequencies, they affect us in huge ways. You know how the sun feels when it's close and when it's far, because you see it. You see the cause and effect relationship. It's profound. But nobody ever told you how the planets affect us in the same way. Now, the sun's not a flaming fireball. It's a projection of energy that goes through two glass-like firmaments. It's powered by the invisible sun. It like shoots this beam. And the few times when the atmosphere is just right, you see what looks like two suns at sunset. All right? That's not two physical objects. That is where the projection of light goes through and hits each firmament. It's the round beam as it hits that firmament that looks like the sun. I know this sounds crazy. But there is no combustion in the sun. And the black sun emanates the ether that this reality is built upon. See, light doesn't travel. There is no speed. It's a rate of induction through the ether. It's a perturbation in the ether, to where darkness is unmanifested ether. Think of this like a simulation, a holographic simulation. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Everything vibrates. Matter is just a very slow vibration. It's hard to explain, but it's like a video game. All right? You can program a video game to where if you touch this, it'll burn your hand. Or you cannot put your hand through this or through your own face. You can program it to where you can. In dreams, it's a different set of rules and physical properties than in this reality, which I don't think is real. I think there's another base level of reality, and this is like a dream state hologram simulation. It's hard to explain. But with quantum physics, everything you see at the highest level is light. There is no matter. There is no particles. There's only waves. And all those waves are carried upon the ether. The ether is the substrate of this entire reality. What you consider darkness is just unmanifested ether, like pixels on your screen that didn't light up because it wasn't needed. But those pixels could be fire. They could be a shovel. They could be a water bottle. All right? It's like that. The distance between you and me is all ether. And ether contains consciousness. It is transmitted through the ether. That's hard to wrap your head around, but if you know that data is transmitted through the Wi-Fi, like from my phone, I can send a 4K video with sound to your phone, and you can watch it. It went from one to the other wirelessly, like magic. That's how the ether works with consciousness. That's how we are all connected to each other and what we call God. We're very much like mobile electronic devices. The hairs on our skin are antennas. They're etheric antennas. Our DNA is a fractal antenna. It transmits, it receives. We have a power center. We have a processor. We have memory banks. And we need to be recharged. We're very much like biological androids. We can be programmed. And all this emanates from this black sun, the invisible sun. And many of the stories in the Bible about the Father and the Son are about astrotheology, about these entities. The planets are celestial entities. They're not spinning rock balls. They could be what you consider gods. Satan is Saturn. Lucifer, the bright morning star, is Venus. Mars is Marduk. Jesus, Jesus, Ra, Horus, is the Son of God. You cannot go to the Father except through the Son. Follow the yellow brick road. The Son is a portal straight to the Father. It's an electrical, luminary transmission. And that's why they said people worshiped the sun. You see in the temples and the pyramids, the Ankh is being given to the people. The Ankh is the key of life. It's being delivered by the sun. All right? You get consciousness direct from source when you sun gaze. You bring it straight into you, into your brain, into your pineal gland, which is the transceiver, if it's not coated with fluoride, while you're grounded, okay? We're electrical beings. We need to run like a circuit. You need to be properly grounded for that to work. And you can receive consciousness through the ether. That's like the 100th monkey experiment, when they finally updated the firmware of the monkeys. I'm not going to tell that story now, but watch a clip on the 100th monkey experiments, and that'll make a lot more sense. Anyway, Amen is the Father, the black sun, the invisible sun, the hidden one. Ra is the sun. Literally and figuratively. That's what it's all about. Yep. I told you you were going to think it was crazy. And it is. But there's not too many people that'll tell